Jimmieson, Employment Relations Specialist at Wattsnext. I'm really excited today to be bringing you the first conversation in our 2015 Employment Relations Armchair series. To kick off the series today, we have with us Mark Curran, an Industrial Relations and Employment Partner with Kaden, Boriss, Brisbane. They specialise in employment, safety and workers' compensation law. Mark has worked as a lawyer for over 20 years and has agreed to share his knowledge on redundancies with us today. Mark, thanks for being with us.
Thanks very much, Alicia.
So Mark, redundancies can often be a necessary part of a business owner's journey, especially to ensure an effective business model. So for some the process will be quite easy, and for others it can be extremely emotional and daunting. Either way, having a thorough knowledge of the legal considerations is essential to minimise the risk to your business. So to minimise this risk, we obviously need to make sure the redundancy is genuine. So can you start by just talking us through the requirements of a genuine redundancy?
Sure, Alicia. There are three limbs. Firstly, the employer no longer requires the job to be performed because of changes in operational requirements. The second is that it's not reasonable to redeploy the employee elsewhere in the company or the group of companies. And the third one is that if there's a legal obligation to consult in an award or an enterprise agreement, that the employer consults in accordance with those instruments.
Okay, so that's obviously quite a number of things. How can we make sure that employees are actually meeting these requirements?
Okay, so in terms of operational requirements, it's a good idea to prepare a short business case that sets out why it's necessary to make the redundancies from an operational viewpoint. With respect to redeployment, there's a need to make inquiries within the business to see if there are any vacancies and to make notes of those inquiries. And thirdly, become familiar with the consultation obligations that the employer is subject to and consult along those lines.
Right, okay. So obviously the employer doesn't need to put that person back into the exact role, so how do they actually determine if there is a position available?
In terms of suitability, the employee should be capable of performing the role in terms of being competent and having the skills to perform the role, or alternatively they can reach that sort of competency level within a short time through some retraining.
Right, okay. What happens if, for example, the role's interstate or if it's less money? Do they still have to offer the role to that person?
And so the case law basically suggests that the employer shouldn't be making that decision. So in other words, if you have an interstate role or a role with less pay, then offer that to the employee and let them make the decision as to whether it's suitable or not, as opposed to the employer making that decision.
And then just to finish up, can you just give us some key points and things to bear in mind when calculating an employee's entitlements?
Sure. Well, the first thing is it's important to get this area right because if there's a dispute, it's most likely to be about entitlements, and it's not a good way to start the process if the entitlements are incorrect. So the two main entitlements are notice of termination and redundancy pay. So the employer should consult employment contracts, policies, industrial instruments and the Fair Work Act to determine what those entitlements are. They also need to be aware of other entitlements, such as in Queensland long service leave, after 7 years service, and there may also be incentives or bonuses that are triggered when the employment terminates.
Thank you so much for your time today, Mark. There's obviously a lot of things that business owners need to consider, especially if they're going through a redundancy process. If you'd like any more information on today's video, please don't hesitate to contact the Wattsnext office at any time. And make sure you keep an eye out for all the Wattsnext Employment Relations Armchair series in 2015. We have heaps of great content, including video blogs and webinars coming up that are sure to help out your business.